Hello.
Hello.
We are live. All right. We got, looks like we got one person in so far, but my computer's a little bit slow at picking all this up. But we got Rockford Fish Keeping. We have Chevy Fish in. And Sandy says she wished she could be here, but she's off to work, but she'll watch the replay, and she hit the like button. So thank you, Sandy.
Cool.
Yeah. So what's happening, Mr. Langley?
Well, lots of stuff going on here. I got too many projects on the go, I think. I'm going to have to just get it finished.
Can you start with resealing that 18-gallon cube tank in your garage?
Yeah, sure. I got two of them cleaned.
Oh, perfect. Maybe I'll just pick them up. I can give them a quick blast.
Yeah, I've got all the silicone stripped off of two of them, so they just need to be wiped out and sealed, basically.
Yeah. No, that's good, because I'm ready. I'm ready for them.
That's cool.
Yeah. Hey, Chubby Guppy, welcome. Dragon Lair, welcome. We're starting to get a few people piling in, Steve.
Yeah, that's cool. So I ended up separating those two clownfish. They were just chasing them into the corners and they wouldn't let them out. So I didn't have much of a choice. But catching fish in a reef tank is a little different. It's a lot of waiting.
Yeah, it's a lot different. It's you almost got to bait them out.
I actually I used those bottle brushes.
Yeah.
I used a bottle brush to go in back behind the rocks and chase them out to the front, and then I would hopefully have the net in the right spot and not snag on a rock. But
especially with corals.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any coral. Well, I have two little like mushroom kind of things, but nothing substantial.
This is what I have to do to my tank.
Uh-oh. With your shrimp?
No, in my upstairs, my reef tank.
Ah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. And it's got some there's it says it's all safe and everything, and everybody recommends this for flatworms. And it took me actually posting I know so little about reef tanks that it took me posting a picture of asking what kind of corals my corals are that I acquired, and people enlightened me on what they were on our. It's if anybody wants to check it out, these guys are actually awesome and nice and everything. It's the Barrie Area Reefer Facebook group, and the guys are good. Paul's on there, a few other guys, and they're not what I found in a lot of reef groups. Man, reefers can be mean. They can be mean, man. When someone asks a simple question and they don't know, shit, you think some of these freshwater groups are mean. Go check out some reefer groups. You don't even know what mean is yet. Like, some of them be bad, but these guys aren't like that. These guys aren't like that. I don't think they would tolerate guys like that. They seem to be into helping people improve their reefs instead of just making them feel like a piece of shit.
Yeah, well, that's what we need in the hobby, though, right? It's the helpful people.
Yeah. So everybody tells this. So they said, yeah, this coral's this one's this, and this one is absolutely covered in flatworms. And I'm like, so I take it flatworms are bad. Like, I don't even know what they are.
Yeah, right.
So and they a couple laughed and said, yeah, flatworms are bad. They'll eventually smother your coral out, and that's it. So then I start researching on them, and I've had an excess of rotifers lately. So I've been feeding all my corals in that tank rotifers. Yep. But the problem is that the flatworms eat the rotifers too and multiply like crazy when they get rotifers.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so I've been like really helping them live life in my tank. Um, so using this stuff, this flatworm exit. Where's my camera? There. Um, it's safe and everything, but the problem is if you have a mass die-off of flatworms in your reef tank, they release a toxin. They release a toxin when they die. And the toxin is what will spike all your crap, spike your ammonia, and blah, 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 blah. Basically kill your tank. So
you got to do a massive water change right after.
yeah, and it said siphon. Try to siphon every flatworm you can. Like, how do you do that? I got 100 pounds of live rock in a 65-gallon tank.
Right.
It's not going to happen. I can siphon what I see. I still don't even hardly know what they look like. I don't know how people spotted them in a picture, but
right.
Yeah. So it's going to be a big thing. So I'm going to have I'd say at least 30 gallons of RO water ready to go for this deal. And probably have to do, like you say, a massive, like maybe I was thinking instead of like a 50% water change, maybe doing like 2 25% water changes, maybe 3 25% water changes. Just I don't know, just to try to.
Yeah. I don't know how the corals will react to a massive water change. I don't know that much about it.
Yeah, I don't either, but I'm assuming it's better than not doing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Sorry, just gonna catch up on the chatty chat here. Hello, Bob. Hello, Bob. And I think that's the only new one that's come into the chat. Yeah, Chevy Fish. I haven't got that the Teespring thing sorted out yet. I don't know how to do it, so I should just try to get it off there altogether. So don't even try to bother going to my Teespring thing. Nothing worthwhile there. And yeah, most reefers are absolutely nuts. Um, quickly becoming a reefer myself here, so I guess that says something about me. Wrasses, are you saying wrasses love bristleworms, Bob? I'm assuming. I'm assuming maybe they would. I don't have any wrasses.
Me neither. I just have the clownfish. That's it.
Oh, there we go. Awesome. Thank you, Chevy Fish. So it's in the comments for the Barrie area reefers. And yeah, I do this, Bob. I don't know how and this is why these things are, I don't know, beneficial to everybody, because I don't know how other people do water changes. Same with when we were talking, Steve, and we don't even feed the same way, right? But we do it for different reasons, and it works out the same. Right. But so when I do my saltwater water changes, which I do them freaking daily now, what I do is I mix my salt with my RO. I get it to my exact salinity that I like, and I actually use my laundry tub in the basement, and I fill it with hot water, and I keep the bucket in there until it reaches the temperature of the tank. So that's how I do my water changes. I don't preheat my water or anything. I warm it up. I have my radar gun. I shoot it, and most of my saltwater tanks are about 80.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So when it gets to, I have my brush there. I stir it up, and you have to keep stirring it up when you do it that way, because the outside of your bucket will be warmer than the inside. Give it a stir. I shoot it with the radar gun. When I got 80.5. Bam, she goes in the tank.
Yeah, so I just have a 5-gallon bucket that I mix because I don't have that much to change. My tank's only 25 gallons, so 5 gallons is a big water change for me. So I mix it. I have a little power head that I throw in a bucket, and throw in a little preset 78-degree heater and mix it up the day before, and then throw her in.
That works. That works as well. I do that. Yeah, I'd have to do that every day and have it pre-mixed ahead of time. And yeah, I don't know how I can. I guess why I like doing it in the laundry tub too, Steve, with the water, is because I wash all my stuff I'm working with at the same time. So when I just use the water that's in there, right? The hot water. And that way I feel like I'm kind of sterilizing my stuff a little bit at the same time.
Good idea.
The water's about 115 degrees Fahrenheit that I warm it with. So when I'm using my siphon tubes, siphoning up crap off the bottom of the saltwater tanks and whatnot, I want to get all that salt shit out of them. I submerge them there, and then I blow them out when I'm done, all the fresh water, and it seems to keep them a little bit better. The brushes, all the cups I'm using, if I'm using a cup to pull out of my RO tank, I'll kind of wash it off in there too in case there was salt on it or whatever. I don't know. It works.
That's a good idea.
But you don't have a laundry tub in your fish room.
I do.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But it must always be full of stuff.
No, it's kind of hidden around the back. It's next to my fill buckets.
Ah, okay.
So you don't really see it because it's kind of behind the furnace.
Right. Bob says, I mix mine out of the tap in a dog bathtub. Mix with a pump and put it back in the tanks with the same pump. That works too. Do you heat the water? Like, do you do the same thing as I do, Bob? Just add hot water to the tub to warm it up? Hello, Marco. Welcome. I don't know if I've ever seen you on here, but welcome. Oh yeah, I didn't mention yet either. So I always hate when people beg for subscribers. It's like, I feel like, man, you shouldn't beg for subscribers. Your content should bring your subscribers, blah, blah, blah. But I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 970. So I'm begging for subscribers. I'd like that 30 more to just see what that magical 1,000 does. A lot of people are kind of, I don't know, you don't hear about, I know there's some money involved, and I guess that's why you don't hear about too much when people get monetized and everything with the 1,000 subscribers. If they have enough, you need the watch minutes too. I have the watch minutes galore. I have like almost 100,000 more watch minutes than I need. But yeah, it's the subscribers. So there's money involved, and maybe that's why people don't talk about it, because people's finances are their own business. But it'd be interesting to see what actually happens after the magical 1,000 mark. So if everybody could help me out with that, that would be absolutely great. There's my plug for the day for that. Like I said, I don't normally talk about it at all. But yeah, we're almost there. I didn't think I'd ever get even close. It's been my goal all along.
Yeah, that's great.
Chevy Fish says, arrow crab, some gobies, hawkfish, coral banded shrimp, some wrasses, among others, eat all worms of varying types. Okay, I have a hawkfish. He's obviously not doing a very good job. But yeah, I have a hawkfish. I don't have anything else on that list. I really love those coral banded shrimp though, Steve. Have you seen them?
The white and red?
Yeah.
They're pretty nice.
Do you think you could put them in with just clownfish, or do you think the clownfish would smoke them?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I won't put them in my 65 because of Paul. I know my puffer fish will smoke them.
Oh yeah, probably. Tasty treat.
Yeah, just eat them alive, limb by limb.
I put a little hermit crab in mine just to help clean up some of the algae growing on the rocks.
Trocheus snails.
Yeah, I have one of those as well. And then there's this other one, this nastiest snail or something like that. It lives in the gravel.
Oh, okay.
So all I see is a little ventral tube sticking out of the gravel, and that's all I see of it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. The Trocheus snails can survive with Paul. He can't. They're too big for his mouth,
Oh
and
yeah,
their shell covers up their inside vulnerable part. So yeah, the most he does is pick the algae off their shells.
right. I got one little spot of coralline algae that started on the back glass this week. That's the first
Now,
sign of that I've seen.
are you trying to get coralline algae?
No, it just showed up on its own.
Okay, that probably came from me.
Yeah, quite possibly.
It looks really nice. It does kind of look nice, but man, it's hard to get off the glass. When it gets on the glass, man, it's pretty tough to scrape off. Bob says, no, I use straight out of the tap. I used to use the temp gun, but now I just use my finger, and it's very close. Each tank is a little different, and the new does not change the temp hardly at all. Yeah, that's totally correct too. If you think about it, when you're only adding 25% back into your tank when there's 75% at a current temperature, you add 25%, even if it's out, even if what you're adding in is out by 10 degrees Fahrenheit,
Yeah.
I don't think it would change the whole tank temp even 1 degree.
No, not really. It's really good at mixing out the temperature difference.
Yeah, I'm pretty spot on though with when I'm dealing with baby clownfish, I try to keep it spot on.
Yeah, probably a little more sensitive than adult fish for sure.
Yeah. Oh, here you go, Steve. We got an answer from Bob Kaler. He says, I keep a pair of shrimp with clowns almost 2 years now.
Okay.
There you go. Thank you, Bob. Chevy Fish says, I mix my salt water in a tub with a heater and let it mix for a few days. It tests different than when from first mixed.
Yeah, I will say I've noticed a difference in salinity when the temperature is lower versus higher. It changes like 0.001 or something like that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's why I throw the heater in, just because my RO bucket is sitting on concrete floor in the basement, so it stays pretty cold.
Yeah, so does mine. That's why I have to. The only ones I don't really have to reheat it for is my shrimp tanks, because I keep my shrimp tanks just at room temperature.
Right.
Now, Bob says here, be careful letting it sit and remixing. Hopefully, Bob elaborates on that. See what maybe that's what he's talking about. Steve is the difference in salinity.
I have seen some information around the salinity and the alkalinity and pH and things shifting over time. So the longer you let it sit, the worse it gets.
Okay. Chevy Fish is saying they're cleaner shrimp, so they're pretty safe. Even cleaning moray eel teeth, but they do get eaten sometimes. Coral shrimp, pretty safe with clowns. All saltwater critters have different personalities, and some don't conform to what is a known factor. And as that is extremely true too, as I have a green spotted puffer that I converted to full marine, and he doesn't. Everybody said, "Oh, he'll eventually kill every fish in that tank." I don't know. He's not at the top of the pecking order. Actually, that hawkfish I just got kicks his ass around a little bit. So I don't know. I guess it is different with different puffers and fish and whatnot.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that I think, but I know he would eat a cleaner shrimp, so I can't do that. But if it was just clowns and whatnot, sounds like you're safe.
Do you ever feed shrimp to your fish? Like
Yep.
like store-bought shrimp?
Yeah. Yeah, I buy big shrimp that are already gutted and the heads off, and but raw, and I cut them up and I feed them to my anemones too.
Oh, right, you have anemones. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about that.
Hello, manes, tails, fur, and fins. Welcome. Yeah, so that's what I do. I'll show you something I'm pretty excited about right now. Hopefully I got the screen good, the picture good still. There it is. Those are my wine reds. Oh, lost you there, Steve.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just playing around here.
Well, that's okay. Actually, I should be able to still hear you if I go to solo layout. So yeah, this is my red King Kong, whatever you want to call it. Essentially a red Taiwan B tank.
Yep.
And it has just exploded. Exploded. There's over 100 shrimp in that tank now.
Wow. I see
Yeah.
a little one crawling on the fork there.
Yeah, there's babies everywhere, and that one's kind of really cool. Like, it's got some pretty neat markings on its head. So I thought I'd set the camera up there first. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited about this one. All these, I'm starting to sell them, in fact. I have enough to sell now.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, okay, Dragon Lair. Have a good day, sir. Thanks for coming out.
See you later.
All right. So, yeah, that's what's going on with the little shrimps. Okay, we'll go back to this. Yeah, man. So I'm pretty excited about that. I got new clownfish babies.
Excellent.
So I think what I'm gonna do in a second is I'm gonna go mobile as well. And you know what? I think I can go mobile without even going as a guest now. They've changed things around. So I'd imagine if I just bear with me for a sec, but if I just go to StreamYard, and if it knows me, which it will, then I don't have to actually go as a guest. I can just keep it like this. Yeah, I want to log in.
You have to start keeping all your old phones so you can have cameras all over the place.
Well, I try to, but kids end up breaking their phones, and then they want my old phones.
Right.
Okay, I'm coming into the broadcast studio. There we go. I don't see it. Oh, we haven't entered yet. Can you still hear me?
Yep.
All right. Enter broadcast studio. All right. There we go.
Sweet.
So we'll figure out how to turn this thing around. Oops. Camera. Why are we all three here still? Move that one. Cancel. I guess. Not giving me the option to turn it around.
Oh, I had to push the camera and mic settings.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and then go into the camera.
Yeah, right here.
And then there's a drop down.
Gotcha.
There you go.
We got her. Oh, we can look at my dirty carpet. Just trying to
looking better than my room at the moment.
It's got to be bad. Jeepers. There we go. Okay.
There you go.
So if I can find them, I wanted to show everybody. This is my 180-gallon parasip and longfin bristlenose tank. And I had a surprise. Here he is right here. I don't know if we can see him. Ready to take off. He's very small. Here he is. I had a parasip survive in here. Can you guys see him? I can hardly see through this little screen here.
Yeah, just barely.
But yeah, he's right here, just above that rock. There he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. I knew I missed a couple when I stripped the female. So I'm glad to see that they have the capability of surviving in here if I don't strip them. I'm sure the survival rate's better when I do strip them.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. And here's the clowners. I'm very disappointed and upset with these guys now, actually.
Why is that?
Well, many of them have gill issues. Many of them have the flared gills. And I'm really upset about that, actually. And apparently it's my fault. I must have let the ammonia get a little too high. So we'll keep them and see what happens if they do turn back good or if they stay not so good.
The nice part about it is it's not a genetic issue, right? So
yeah, I think it was just me screwing up when they were young.
From a breeding perspective, it's still okay.
There's some of the younger guys. One looks like it has gill issues, and the rest look like they're okay. So those guys are slightly younger.
I got two that have the flared gills, but it doesn't seem to be impacting them at all.
No. Yeah, you can see it on these guys. There's a few that don't have it. Mainly the more orange guys don't seem to have it as much. But most of them do have it, so I'm a little disappointed about that. But while I was coming around here, I just wanted to show everybody the baby parasips that I did get. The mother, and they're doing quite well in their breeder box here. And when they get big enough, they're just going to go back in the 180 when I'm comfortable that they're probably not going to get eaten, and just join the colony back in there again.
Very cool.
Your fish room always looks so clean compared to mine. Look at my mess.
Oh my God. I'm going crazy right now because it's a total disaster.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's a complete mess. But I've been busy over here. I've been extremely busy over here. And actually, I still have the water in the tub from doing a water change. But yeah, this is my disaster busy spot. But I got some pretty cool stuff going on right here. Might be hard to see them because I just tinted the water. But these are my new baby clowns.
Very cool.
I don't know if you can actually...
I can see them. Sure.
Yeah. Can you see the rotifers?
No, not really. It's just kind of a green.
Yeah. But the rotifers, this tank is just loaded with rotifers.
if you look underneath, it's hard to show, but they really love the light, some of them. So underneath the light, and that's just a reflection of the light there, but you can see them actually up the top, picking off all the rotifers at the top. So this,
does the light attract the rotifers too?
yeah, it does a bit, and it seems to attract the clownfish. But they say don't put a strong light on your tank, and just so you can have they can have the option to be in the light or not, and also tinting the tank so the light is never too strong on them.
Right.
Not only that, you should have it all blacked right off all the way around the tank. I just use garbage bags for that.
Yeah.
And so that keeps them off the glass. Apparently, they'll just stick to the glass if you don't.
I've seen a clownfish factory, like a farm,
Like Aura.
I don't know. I don't know what it was called, but their larvae tanks are painted all four sides black.
Yep, they would be. That'd be the way to do it if you're a professional, not an amateur like me. But what I'll tell you why I don't is just because where mine are set up, because I actually like to take it off and have a look at them, right?
Yeah.
And I've never had any issues. So as simple as that, I can actually look at them from the tank side as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you can see the rotifers there.
Yeah, definitely. You can see the cloud there.
Yeah, that's all it is. And all this tinting as well is it's food for the rotifers. I got to tint twice a day. And another thing I've learned and realized in doing this is you don't need very many rotifers to keep a larvae tank going. I have not added rotifers since the first day, and this is day 4.
Oh, really?
They reproduce on their own faster than they can eat them.
That's cool.
Yeah, like it's also to the point where you think, should I take some out? Am I snuffing them out with rotifers?
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah. So I started feeding them the TDO.
Yeah.
The TDO Chroma A. So I have that in here, and I keep a pretty handy little fridge here with all my stuff. Something else I started doing, Steve. This bottle here is a bottle of rotifers. I don't know if we'll be able to see the minute. I usually put it up to a light and have a look. They'll be all at the bottom because they're cold. Oh yeah, there's the big cloud of them right there. See the cloud of them?
Yeah.
They're alive. They're just essentially in a dormant stage because I have them in the fridge.
Good.
So that's what I started doing as well. So I took those 3 days ago. They'll be good in here for another 2 days. When that happens, I'm going to take that bottle out, dump it, and I will fill it up with rotifers again. And that's my little insurance policy to make sure I never have a complete crash out again.
Good plan.
Yeah.
So now, do you still have just the one bucket for your culture, or do you have multiple now?
I got 2 here. That's them right there.
Okay.
But the orange bucket I do copepods in. It does have some rotifers, but it's essentially copepods.
I see.
This is my main rotifer bucket now. There, that's kind of dirty. Needs to be clean.
And you just take a bunch out every day?
Yeah. That's the other key to success with them, is that you have to harvest them. If you don't harvest them, they become old and useless, non-reproductive.
Right.
So you have to harvest them constantly. It's suggested that you harvest like 30 to 40% of your culture daily.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Crazy, eh? So I'm going to give these guys a little bit of food, and you guys can tell me if you think they're eating it. I think they are. I've been watching them. I started them on it last night. This time what I'm trying is using this TDO Chroma Boost and not using brine shrimp at all. some reasons for that is I've been told stories of brine shrimp can sometimes actually help kill your babies, which I don't need any help. I'm good enough at killing the larvae myself.
Yeah, I have that same problem with the angels, and
I have to get stuck in their throats.
No, it's not so much that they get stuck in their throats. Is they're I guess so tasty that they overfeed themselves and basically rupture something internally.
Okay.
Because they start swimming funny and doing backflips and then they just go to the bottom and that's it. They're done.
I'm trying to set my phone up here so I can set it down for a minute.
So I don't know. Me personally, I find if I just feed them like 2 or 3 drops of brine shrimp when they're that small, they seem to have a lot. They have a lot more success.
So that's everybody thinks that they are too big for the clownfish, and they get stuck in their throats.
I could see that because the clownfish babies are way smaller than the angel babies.
Yeah. So this is all I do for the TDO. I just put a little bit on the end of my finger and then do the swirl. I know not everybody's a fan of the swish swirl, but that's what I do. And they seem like they are picking out on this stuff, man. So I had a pretty big die off. I don't know. I think I have like probably still 60, maybe more larvae in here. But what I've been doing different as well is I've been doing 50% daily water changes.
Right.
Every single day, the whole time. So, yeah. Hello, Raheem. Welcome. Raheem's been here a few times now.
And you just have a regular air stone in there, right?
I do, because you can't run a filter. If you run any type of filter in here, it just sucks all the rotifers up.
Right. I wonder. I had another idea for you. Maybe this will be something that would work. You know those bricks that you can get for your sump? It's like it's like a
I was looking at them today. Yeah.
Ceramic brick. What if you put one of those in there just next to the air stone?
I've heard it's gimmicky.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've heard it's gimmicky. Doesn't really work.
Okay.
What I do though, Steve, is I don't know if you can see it with the bubbles, but I in the tint, or I'll move it, is I do have a seasoned sponge filter in there that I always keep in this tank.
Yeah.
But it's not active, like it doesn't have air hooked up to it.
Right.
But I keep it in there hoping that maybe it helps even that little bit.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't, it should still be a seasoned sponge filter when I'm able to use a sponge filter again, when I'm past the rotifer stage.
Right. So
that's what I do.
I was going to ask a question and I just totally forgot.
Okay, Chevy fish. You haven't heard of TDO? Well, TDO is, I guess I talked about it on the last live stream. It's made by Reef Nutrition. It's made by Reef Nutrition, and it's apparently the go-to for clownfish feeding, and apparently for corals too. Apparently corals love eating this stuff. So you go to Reed Mariculture or Reef Nutrition, and they can hook you up. It's never been available in Canada. I don't know how I got it, but I just ordered it, and they did ship it to me. So
that's a really fine powder, that one, right?
Yeah. I bought the breeder pack, right? So I got every size from powder right up to for 3-inch fish.
Right.
So.
Well, I know what it was. When you test for ammonia, is the ammonia test cloudy all the time?
For salt water, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not fresh water.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. Bob says Maria Z is successfully feeding her newly hatched surprise rainbows fry first bites. There you go. I think I need some first bites too.
Yeah, I don't mind first bites.
No, I got some right here. The one thing I will say, if you can't get TDO, I got first bites right here. Because I have been successful with the first bites with that first batch of clownfish fry. And the reason first bites are successful is the ingredients list. See if I can get some better lighting on it and hold it steady enough. I don't think I can. Down here. But if you look there, quite high in the ingredients list is dried brewer's yeast. And right behind it is spirulina powder. So those two ingredients alone are a great start for most fish.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's why I like it. And I will tell you the TDO Chroma has brewer's yeast in it as well. I'm almost certain I've seen it. Maybe not in the first one here. In one of them it does. So at some point, I believe they feel they've done their research and seen at what life stages they should have different ingredients. But I know they do put brewer's yeast in it. So, yeah. Rahim, why the tank is so cloudy? That's because I want it cloudy. I do this on purpose. And for raising baby clownfish, starting at the larvae stage, this is almost a requirement. And not only a requirement, but it is food for the it's food for the food for the clownfish food. So
I got one like that too.
Yeah,
But
is yours as
not
cloudy as mine?
Mine's
Almost.
not on purpose though.
But this is called tinting the water. No, it's not the TDO that tints the water. I will show you what tints the water. Maybe. Oh, I got one right here. Let's go in the fridge. This right here is what I use to tint the water, and it's called RG Complete, and it's food for rotifers, copepods, and brine shrimp. And this is what tints the water, and I have to actually add this twice a day. If I don't, the tint actually completely comes out of the water because the rotifers eat it all up.
That's awesome.
Hello, Select Pet. Welcome. Right now we're just talking a little bit of clownfish larvae, but we're going to move on from this in a minute. Anyway, Steve's showing us some nice angels there, so maybe I'll just give him the complete floor here for a minute, and that'll give me a chance to put the garbage bag back on this before they start sticking to the front glass. But I just wanted to show you guys some 4-day-old larvae, and we seem to be doing okay with them here. I think this is a great number actually to hatch in a tank, Steve. I didn't really talk about that. I don't like it when there's 200 of them in here, and I think that's why I think maybe having the amount I have in here now will be a lot easier to control the ammonia and whatnot.
Yeah, so, probably.
Yeah. Because that seems to be the big issue.
Yeah, I guess if you get too many, then you start polluting the water a lot faster. Well, he's gone.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh. All right, Steve has got to turn this off. Did it shut off? Oh. There I go. I think I got rid of it.
Yeah. You got the 2 microphones going.
Yeah.
I managed to get my peat moss into this one.
Oh, very good.
And the hang on back is running now too, so there's a massive amount of flow in this tank now.
Jesus, I'd say. This phone's still going off. I gotta shut it right off. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just gonna go through this one thing here, Steve.
Yeah, go for it.
Before you get on to your clownfish, and then, or before you get on to your angels. No, the TDO does not cloud the water at all. The TDO is actually it's like a krill meal. I love first bites. Golden pearls, yeah, I've heard of that. Is good too, but be careful. Usage is paramount. And yes, green water is great fry food.
Yeah,
Yes, I have. Yeah, you do. Yeah, the Hikari first bites are pretty good. I usually pair the Hikari first bites with North Fin fry food, fry starter.
The krill,
yeah,
krill powder. That's good stuff.
Yeah, just adds a lot more to it. Rainbow fry are almost exclusively surface feeders. Well, then my swish method would not work well with them. No, the TDO does not tint the water. It's just a food. What is TDO? TDO it's just a specialized food for marine, basically. Yeah, you can check it out at Reed Mariculture. Hey, Steve, do you got a thing that's clicking away on your end?
I heard a little bit of clicking, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so TDO is just this. I just went through it. I think I'm probably just way behind on the chat, honestly. But yeah, Bob, it's a great food. You should try it. Shipping won't be too bad for you because you're in the States. It comes from California, so you can get it from Reef Nutrition. You can get it from Reef Nutrition makes it, so that's where I'd buy it. But you can get it from Reef. What the hell are they called? Bulk Reef Supply.
They're in Canada, aren't they?
No, they're out of the States. Because I tried to get them to ship it to me, and they wouldn't ship it to me in Canada.
I know there's a reef supply store in Canada, but maybe it's a slightly different name.
Yeah, I don't. They won't have. It's been. Yeah, very hard to ship in the TDO. So I don't know why, but for some reason, customs doesn't like to let it through. I even had a customs issue trying to get it through last time, and yeah, it took forever. I almost lost my rotifers because of it. I was on like day 5 when I finally got it. Right. So yeah, it's yeah, I don't know why, if it's the ingredients list or it's just not approved here or what, but everybody swears by it, and I can tell you I've watched those rotifer or those larvae go at it pretty hard, so it's good.
It's awesome.
So what you got going on there, Steve?
Well, I got to try and find a new home for these angels because I think the flow is a little high now.
Oh.
They don't like so much flow in their tank, so I got.
Can you put a break in somehow?
I suppose I could put a divider that would stop a lot of the flow.
Yeah, so even a piece of plate or something to just give them an area.
Yeah, I might have to do something like that because I'm seriously running out of space. So I went and picked up a piece of plywood so that I can turn one of these 20s sideways and then put a third one there.
Hmm.
And then I took my hatchery system apart, and because I needed the tank space, so now I got my babies that were in the 2 gallon over there in the 20. I was actually thinking I might build another rack there and put another 20 over top of it.
Oh wow, you're getting serious.
So, well, just because I have so many babies going on, I'm running out of space for everything.
Maybe you should start the garage. Just saying.
Yeah, yeah, that's gonna take a while though, because that's got some serious financial costs to it.
Yeah, yeah, it does. I'm just trying to set up this clownfish rack. Has started to cost some pretty good money, we'll say.
I checked out the 2x4 costs while I was at the hardware store, and they've actually gone up again. So now they're 289 or 789 for a 2x4 now.
Like just an 8 foot 2x4.
Yeah.
Wow,
Instead of,
they should be like $3.
yeah, they were $3 when I built this fish room. That was like 2 years ago. Even like 8 months ago, they were still 318 or something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy because a lot of like I don't know. I'm in the construction business and I haven't heard of people complaining about it too much, but like trim prices and whatnot haven't gone up.
Right. So I moved all the babies from this tank up here out, and look what happened.
Ugh, cheapers.
So now I got all these guys down here.
Yeah, man.
Those are unsorted. Then I have all the females here, and then I have all males up here.
You looks like you need to start selling some guppies.
Yeah, well these ones are actually starting to get some nice color. So
Yeah, they are. They most definitely are. We'll see how the dorsals turn out.
yeah, well they're getting longer. They're
Mm-hmm.
starting to grow, so that's a good sign. Yeah, so I might actually just throw those angels in this tank because there's only 3 in there.
Yeah, they do all right in there, for sure.
And
Raheem,
none of these are paired in here, so that's should be
you
all
might
right.
get some interesting stuff going on.
Yeah.
Raheem, I can't show you the clownfish parent tank right now because that's upstairs in my house and I'm in the basement and we're not heading up there. But you can most definitely see it in. I have previous videos of them, so if you go back through my marine video playlist, you'll be able to see them there. Sorry, Steve.
No worries. Yeah, so then I picked up a whole bunch of PVC stuff.
Oh,
There.
where'd you get it? Where'd you get all those nice shutoffs?
These ones are at not Home Hardware, Home Depot.
Oh, you
And
found?
I really like these because they're actually quick fit.
Ah.
So the plant.
Is that 3/4 inch?
This is 1/2 inch, but they also have 3/4. So this is a little experiment that I'm going to run before I actually start building the garage.
Okay. Where do you think I can get some like 1.5" Schedule 40?
They have a Home Depot. Home Depot is the best price. So at Home Depot,
I didn't see any at Home Depot. Not in Aurelia for 1.5".
Not sure if they had 1.5". They had 3/4 and they had 2 inches for sure. But I wasn't looking specifically for that size, so I didn't notice.
Okay.
But at Home Depot, a T is 44 cents. If you go to Lowe's or Rona or Home Hardware, a tee is $1.50.
Oh wow.
So that's why I went to Home Depot today. But I'm going to be building a drain and fill system for this rack here, so that I don't have to drag hoses around.
Good idea.
So,
Good idea.
and I bought 1/2 inch because it's the cheapest to buy, obviously. And once I figure out if it's going to be fast enough draining and filling, then that's what I'm going to do in the garage when I get everything set up out there. It'll all be automatic drain and fill.
What about going with like a sump system, Steve, or are you just gonna go sponge filters?
No, it'll still be sponge filters. I don't like the idea of spreading things around between tanks.
Okay, I wasn't sure if, like, even if you isolated it to racks, because that's kind of the rate. That's where I'm going with the clownfish baby rack, because it's all going to be on one sump filter.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I used to work at a pet store, and we had sump systems there, but we always had so much trouble with diseases, jumping tanks and stuff that I've never in my life had a sump.
Okay. What pet store did you work at?
It doesn't exist anymore, actually. It was Toronto Aquarium in the Eden Center downtown Toronto.
Oh, okay. Was this like a how long ago did you do that?
That was in my university days, so that was like 30 years ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you ever worked in a pet shop. That's cool.
Yeah, my university years, I worked in a pet store downtown Toronto.
Oh, very, very cool. I always wanted to, but I can't work for minimum wage and support my family. So that's all jobs are now, eh? So that's why you did her in university.
Well, yeah, in university, it was right next to my apartment. It was right next to the university, and I had some fish. I had saltwater tank, and I was like, I got to make some money, so let's get a part-time job at a pet store. And it was cool. It was awesome job. I really liked it, but like you say, you can't survive on minimum wage. So
no, and I think you go broke opening your own.
yeah.
So yeah. Have you speaking of that, have you driven by that one in Barrie yet, or stopped in and seen what's going on?
So you're talking about the one down the bottom of Ann Street?
Yeah, the one on Wellington.
Yeah, okay. No, I haven't. I was in the grocery store down there last week, and I took a quick peek at the storefronts to see if I could see a sign or anything. But I couldn't see anything. And then somebody posted on the forum that they seen activity going on down there about it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
so
I'm pretty excited.
I texted the guy because I've bought stuff off of him before, just through Kijiji, and he was telling me about the pet store he's opening down on Wellington Street. Nice. So I texted him. I said, hey, what's going on? The last time I talked to you, you were going to open in October sometime. And he says, yeah, it's a little bit behind just because of resources and stuff because of COVID. So he's saying sometime in November now, if everything goes smoothly.
Well, that's good. November's here, almost.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of cool to see. He's a new mom and pop type shop. Like, he's an older guy. He got tons of aquariums and stuff in his house, and he's a nice guy.
It's a big space he's got, apparently.
Yeah, he's got a garage full of 65-gallon tanks, 3 levels.
Well, I mean the space he's rented.
Oh yeah, I think think they said 6,000 square feet. That's pretty big.
Right? That's huge. That's huge. That's bigger than Big Al's in Barrie.
Yeah.
Way bigger. Way bigger. I think Big Al's is probably like, well, including their back room, they might be 2,000 square feet.
Right.
Like at most. So that's huge, man. That's a lot of space to fill.
Yeah.
It's a lot of space to fill.
Yeah. Well, he's got a lot of big fish. A lot of discus, and he's got some jaguar cichlids.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he comes up with there. Most definitely.
Yeah, and I heard he's going to have saltwater section too, so that's interesting.
Oh, is he? That's good. That's good. Yeah, I was going to ask you if you knew if he was going to have salt or not. So that might be another avenue to, when I start getting some healthy clownfish, to sell him some clownfish.
I didn't ask him that question, but somebody else apparently talks to him quite often, and they answered. So.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah, it'll be nice because aside from Big Al's, there's really nothing around.
No, Brittany's got her shop in her house for mostly nano stuff, but for an actual fish store, there's nothing else around other than Big Al's.
Yeah, I wouldn't even consider PetSmart for fish, but
oh shit, no.
They have fish, but I it's always the same stuff.
It's always the same stuff. They're always disgusting. They're always sick. Every time I've gone in there and seen obviously, even if I'm going there for something for the dog, I'm gonna walk by the fish section. I can't resist.
Right.
And yeah, they're unhealthy. Yeah, shitty looking fish.
Half the time the tank fronts are so spotted with water, you can't even see the fish. It's so crazy.
Yeah, that aside, like I said, I've seen them with ick. I've seen them with tail rot in there. I've seen them just dead. Half of them is dead on the bottom half the time. And they have a big central system, I believe, for all that stuff. Yeah, I think everything's.
Yeah, they do, and that's the problem, right? Is if you get one tank that's sick and you put it in a central system, everybody is sick.
Yeah, especially Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
So that's kind of why I've never had a central system, is because I went through that experience working at the pet store.
I just thinking per rack, like per rack. That's why I'm experimenting here with this clownfish rack, and then when if and when I ever get to the point where I want to expand a second one, I'll try it and see, and then at least I could probably contain everything to that one rack, right? And I could treat the entire rack. I'm setting mine up so I can shut tanks off from it completely.
Yeah, and you have to do that because you want to be able to isolate things if you have to.
Yeah, and not only that, what I plan on doing is actually having larvae tanks on that rack as well. And I think if I find some more 50 micron, 40 micron mesh, what I will do is on those tanks, on the overflow, I'll just put that micron mesh on, and I can do automatic water change. No, not that.
Smaller than that, eh?
Oh yeah, a lot smaller. That way I can do real easy water changes with it. Just start filling her up from the system and letting her go down the overflow, right? I could do 100% water changes daily on the tank, and then isolate it, regreen it, add rotifers, whatever. I think that'll be the cat's meow. Raheim, I don't know what kind of salt they use. I'll have to look. It's right over here. Vibrant.
Vibrancy or something like that.
Yeah, Vibrancy. And your next question, I just started. This is I don't know. They bred for me by accident in the springtime, and I've had a little bit of success, a lot of disappointment in raising the babies. And that's all I do now. I do clownfish, shrimp, and plecos. I do have 1 tank of cichlids. It's more for just me to look at, though. I have a tank of rainbows and barbs, and a couple fisher cats. Other than that, it's plecos, shrimp, and clownfish. You're pretty much angels, eh, Steve? Angels and guppies.
Angels, guppies, and plecos at the moment.
Maybe I'll feed some.
These barbs that I got from you are still growing out. They like hiding under these Cenubias for some reason.
Oh, do they? Huh. Well, I guess that's where they're comfortable. I still have a few that size too in my tank. I actually had to rescue one last night. I seen it. Oh, yeah. It was stuck in the lifter tube of the sponge filter. It was jammed in there, and I thought it was dead. It was like colorless, like looked pretty bad. And I pulled it apart. Whoop! Come popped out, and swam away, and it's fine.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna feed those plecos some bug bites.
So there's the sword plant that was covered in gunk last week.
In gunk.
The one that was in with the other plecos.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's pretty clean. It's pretty clean.
Yeah, I threw it in with these little guys. They cleaned it up real fast.
Sometimes you need little guys for that.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna feed these plecos some Pluval bug bites pleco formula. They love it. I overfeed the crap out of them. They'll be there in a second. Oh, we got some more people on here. Sorry, everybody coming into the chat. My computer's a little bit slow. But hello, Darlene. Welcome. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Thanks for coming out. We just chat. We just chat. So we don't. There's no real direction of our live stream podcast. Whatever you want to talk. That's why I usually just call it just talking.
It's kind of funny.
My man Jason, what's up? What's happening?
Hey,
Sorry,
Jason.
I haven't caught your live streams, but you're on too late for this guy.
I've been filling in for you. Don't worry.
Have you? Oh, good, good. So I'm gonna have to watch some replay though, and for anybody who doesn't know, red fish, blue fish, Jason is opening his very own fish store. So check out his channel. Throw up your link, Jason, and check out his channel, and you can see his progress. He does very informative and entertaining live streams weekly on Friday nights. Too late for me. Yes, you're doing a live stream with Ed this evening, Bob. Well, thank you for joining in, and yeah, good luck with the live stream with Ed. If I have a chance, I will try to catch it. They're starting to come out, Steve, the plecos.
Yeah, see them.
I'll see if I can back the camera up a little bit, get a little better picture of it. What's that look like?
You know how everybody tells you not to grow Anubias in gravel?
Is that what people say?
Yeah, because the rhizomes apparently rot.
Oh, okay.
So all of mine are actually in the dirt, but the trick is the rhizomes are just above the dirt,
Ah.
and they do very well for me that way.
Yeah, that's a pretty. I can't grow a Nubius for the life of me, and apparently it's the easiest one to grow.
Yeah, and I have every single one of them is exactly the same. I just take the rhizome and put it above the dirt and let the roots grow right down into the dirt.
Perfect. And that one's beautiful. Is that called like a
That's
petite?
the Nana Petite. Yeah, I got one from Ken. Like
Okay.
2 years ago, it was like that size, and now it's that size.
In 2 years. Yeah, it's a pretty slow growing.
Yeah, it takes a long time, but it looks great.
Look how
Especially,
quick the vultures come out for that food.
yeah,
You see the horns on the big guy looking straight at the camera there?
yeah.
He's like they're not a year old yet. And he's starting to get some pretty decent horns on him there. So what I'm going to do with these guys soon, Steve, is I'm going to start splitting them up into trios. And they're going to get their own tanks as trios. And I'm going to see what I can't get out of them. They have not bred for me yet.
No,
But what I find with bristlenose a lot of the time is that if you have too many males in one tank, the males are so busy fighting each other off and everything else that you can see some split tails happening. That's from the males scrapping it out. Yeah, too much competition and you end up with nothing.
right.
That's actually what I have going on in my 180-gallon tank right now. There's like, I think 10 males in there. And with 10 males, it's really hard for one male to trap the females because he's too busy fending off the other males. Now that's a male guppy there.
Yeah, I think it's I'm not sure, but it looks kind of like a half black or something.
Yeah, a half black or a shitty Moscow. But no, I'd say it's a half black.
I pulled it out because it was in with these guys.
So they look at the dorsal fin on that fella. Follow that guy, right? No, not him. I think he was going the other way.
Yeah, there's only one in there.
Okay, maybe that is him. Just the way when his dorsal fin comes up, you can see.
Yeah.
It pretty much reaches, close to the end, but it's got some wild colors, that guppy.
Yeah, so I got one other metallic starting here. Male.
Yep. It looks like it may have the lighter pattern coming into it.
Yeah, so he's getting little spots all over his tail too, so that's kind of cool.
And some very plump females.
But this is why I need more tanks, because I keep running out of space.
Well, you've jumped on the guppy train, my friend, and when one jumps onto the so-called guppy train, you need to get about 6 tanks per strain. And I know that you're going to do it seriously when you do it. So, yeah, you're going to need 6 tanks per strain. That's what it takes on the guppy train. We even made that all rhyme.
Yep.
But, yeah.
So that's why that one's turning sideways, and then I'll have 3 across there just for babies so that I can sort them male, female. And
why don't you start dividing, or I guess you don't need to, with your guppies especially, they're not very cannibalistic, so you can keep different sizes altogether.
Like, these are big adults, and they don't even bother with the babies. There's so many babies in there.
Somebody's asking me what that plant is that's being shown in my tank, Steve. Well, this plant came from Steve, and I have them all over, and I don't remember the name of it. What's the name of it, Steve? The big tree-like plant you can see on mine right in the front.
Oh, the wisteria, no, the willow leaf high growth.
Willow leaf high growth. So there you go. Willow leaf high growth. And I have that all through my 180 as well.
Yeah, they look really great in big tanks.
The only thing I don't like is it's in my 180. It's dropping roots like up high. So I guess I gotta start trimming them off or something.
Right.
So you mix a couple of different kinds of aquarium salt, do you, Bob?
Well, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can probably get away with not. Well, I think you're still gonna need 6 tanks per strain. They're just gonna be 20
Yeah.
gallons instead of 10s.
Well, yeah, I'll have 3 here plus that one up there, so that's 4 plus this one is 5.
Do you have the space to turn those ones sideways on the rack you were just at?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do, but the problem is next door is my angel breeders. And I don't like to have them sideways because then I don't get to see them very much.
So what if could you keep your one angel breeder side like the way it is and still fit two more instead of one more
yeah.
beside it?
Yeah, definitely I can put 2 here because I got like a couple of an inch and a half there, and I got an inch and a half over here, so I could definitely put 2 up there.
But there you go. That that might work.
The only reason I didn't want to do that is because of this.
Oh, okay.
And the rack is only 2 feet away from the wall, so they're going to be right over top of the electrical, which I wasn't too crazy about.
No, that's a bit of a, and not to mention the electrical looks pretty full already.
But I could potentially churn these back sideways because originally I had them sideways.
Okay. Raheem was asking me what kind of plecos these are. These are brown longfin bristlenose. They're my own breeding. I think these are generation 6 of my breeding. As fries, they tend to have a bit of a blue tinge to them. So we're trying to keep that trait going. So I'm going to do some more extensive breeding with them. They're still young. They're not even a year old. So we'll see how they turn out. Yeah, no problem. Chevy fish. They're it's a easy to grow plant. Like on my 180, I have a 4-foot shop light on a 6-foot tank, and it's growing pretty easy in there. Even constantly cutting it.
Yeah, it's a great plant. I like it.
So any active? So yeah, let's get back to this tank, Steve, that you're on. I'm gonna give you the full screen here. There you go. So we never did talk about. So how long have you had the peat moss in?
It's been probably a week and a half.
Okay, and I know you've been obviously rigorously testing. So tell us what have the changes been?
Very little so far. The carbonate hardness is slowly dropping.
Okay.
I'm still just, the last water change I did was still just straight tap water, which is part of the problem.
Yeah.
But I'm going to switch over to the RO for a little bit until the hardness drops down.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to just pretty much go straight RO.
But the carbonate hardness has dropped probably two drops.
Okay.
So that's it's not bad, but the problem is it takes so long.
And it's going to come back up every time you do a water change.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I think you're gonna have to start going straight RO, and I believe the peat moss will help buffer for you with the lack of carbonate hardness.
Yeah, I think it's like an absorber kind of material, right?
Yeah, it is, but it's active, right?
It is,
It's
yeah.
it's active. So um, I guess what I'm saying is it's working very much like Amazonia does
Right.
as a substrate. It's the same thing. Amazonia puts off ammonia, but it sucks up the KH out of the water, the carbonate hardness out of the water. So I think, but it also buffers your pH, because without something buffering it, it'll be wonky as shit with straight RO water. So I think it does that for you.
So I'm gonna gradually mix tap and RO water to get it down further. But I don't want to go zero, because then you run into a lot of other trouble.
Yeah. Have you thought of, well, okay, I should put it this way. What I'm going to do with mine when I actually get mine down low enough as well. So for everybody who doesn't know, these are Steve's L128, what are they? They're called Blue Phantom Plecos. I have L128 Blue Phantom Plecos as well. And we're kind of comparing notes and seeing if we can get some success with them, because they're not the easiest plecos to breed in captivity. So the direction I'm going to go, Steve, is when I get my KH down a bit more with using just straight RO water, I'm going to start using my shrimp salts with it.
That's
to
a good
help
idea.
buffer as well.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, I have shrimp salt that has no KH in it, but like the stuff I use for my Caradina shrimp. So I'm going to start using that, and along with the peat, which that box filter looks like a great idea for containing the peat.
Yeah. I'd like it to be a little bigger, though.
Yeah, you might just have to add another one.
I might make one.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I guess you could, eh? A little plexiglass, or would you use like a container of some sort?
I might just use a Tupperware container, like a Ziploc or something like that. And
poke some holes in it, and an air valve.
Yeah.
Yeah. That you could use, or like a big breeder box.
Yeah.
What else could you use? A juice jug, like a juice jug would work.
Yeah, pretty much anything that you can run water through and not let the material out.
Yeah.
Like this stuff is pretty big. Like it's almost the same consistency as like fluval stratum or that kind of thing. Like it's little balls.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Do you have some that's not in the box filter?
Yeah. Down here in my mess. So I've been looking around a lot at different peat mosses and stuff, and most of the ones that you can buy in the garden centers and stuff have root stimulation chemicals and stuff, so you can't really use it. So I just
you went with,
it's just the fluval peat granules.
Okay. I was just gonna get a bale of peat moss.
But they're they're fairly hard.
Little balls, yeah.
Little balls. The other thing that I was thinking I might try is I went and bought some coconut fiber, but I don't know if it softens the water. But it's more of a almost like a dirt kind of thing.
You could almost put that in a media bag and just drop it in.
Yeah, I just don't know if it acts the same as peat moss or not. I have to do some research on it.
throw it in a bucket, just a 5-gallon bucket with some tap water.
I bought
See
that
what happens.
because I bought that because I wanted it for my grindle worms. So I filled up all my grindle worm containers with it.
Okay. And will they all be at the bottom of that mesh?
Yeah.
Yep. And what are you feeding those to?
Pretty much everything. They love them. So
And how often will a culture like that, like how often can you feed out of a culture that size?
So these 3 I just set up last week, so they're still kind of growing.
Okay.
But this one, I harvest this like every day, and it's almost as much of that as I get brine shrimp in a day. So it's quite a lot.
And how do you harvest it?
Oh, you just you just take the mesh out. So you just take this mesh out, and all this gunk on here is all worms.
Oh wow.
And then you just swish that in some water, and you're good to go.
Just a piece of bread for food?
Yeah.
Oh, very, very cool. I've never done grindle worms.
I never did either, but when I got the flagfish from Brittany, she gave me a container of it, so I thought I'd try it. And it's way simpler than microworms and a lot less smelly.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, does it have an odor? Because I know a lot of these homemade remedies kind of really stink.
No, actually, there's no smell to it at all, really.
Oh, perfect.
Which is great, and the coconut fiber is actually it smells pretty good, actually.
Deodorizes itself.
Yeah. So I made some spawning mops.
I see that. What's your take on rainwater, Steve?
What's my take on rainwater?
Yeah, using rainwater for your tanks.
It all depends. I mean, if you were out in the country where there was a lot less pollution, maybe I would be okay with it. But in a city environment, I don't know. You get a lot of acid rain, and you get all the chemicals falling out of the.
Like, what should the TDS of rainwater be?
It should be pretty close to 0, I would think.
Okay, so I tried collecting this summer, and I got rainwater, and the TDS was almost 200. It was like 190.
Yeah.
That scared me. I dumped it.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, it shouldn't have anything in it. And I guess I'm in a city. I'm in a very small city, but I'm in a city. But I don't think it matters if you're in a city or not. City water doesn't necessarily drop in the city wherever the wind blows it, right?
Yeah.
We could be getting Detroit rain.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, so I mean, I look at it this way. You drive around in the summertime and you drive over a city, you see that big orange cloud.
Yeah.
The next day after it's rained, that orange cloud is gone. So where did it go? It came down with the rain.
Yeah.
So I'm not putting that in my aquarium. I wouldn't even drink it.
No, and being a closed system, right? If it's dropping into a huge lake that's got its own ecosystem and filtration system, I guess it helps some. But a lot of our northern Ontario lakes are screwed still to this day from all the pulp and paper mills and all that shit dropping acid rain in them. So I guess I'm not cool with putting rainwater in my tanks just because it's a closed loop system, and all those chemicals will stay in my tanks.
Yep, and it's variable too, right? Like some days, if it rains for 3 or 4 days in a row, the makeup of the water will be cleaner than it was at the beginning. So, I don't know. I wouldn't bother with it.
There's a question for you, Steve. What do you feed your grindle worms on their bread? And he says, I use yogurt. It's from Chevy Fish.
I feed them bread.
Just bread,
Just
nothing on
bread.
it.
Nothing on it. No. Sometimes I'll throw in flake food. Sometimes I'll
Okay.
throw in just whatever I have. Basically, I had some extra bread left over that I was going to throw out, and I thought I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to feed it to my worms.
Ah, okay. Okay, very good.
But I see all these concoctions people are doing on YouTube. They're doing like yeast and yogurt and bread, and it's like that's just too much work for me.
Do you think it gives them a different nutritional value? Maybe is that why people do it?
I suppose. I don't know.
I would think the yogurt would start to stink.
Yeah,
'Cause it would curdle, right?
I don't want. So I'm lazy, so I'm not gonna bother doing that kind of thing. If it's too much work, I'm not gonna do it. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. But that sounds. I would like to get a culture off you there, Steve. I'll try grindle
sure,
worms out.
yeah.
Most definitely. We have a lot of fussy
Actually,
kids around here that won't eat bread crust, so they got free
let
food.
me let me feed this one thing to a bunch of baby angels here, and
Sure.
I'll show you. Gotta get a container of water. And we gotta get the little thing out of there.
Look how good you're getting at working with one hand.
Right. I've been
YouTubing
practicing.
is making your fish keeping hand-eye coordination skills better.
So I just rinse it off in the water. So now all the gunk is off of there.
Okay.
And then that goes back in for the next day.
And then you just put all that gunk in your tank.
And then I take a dropper. Well, I try not to get all the gunk, so you'll see it kind of, see that cloud down there.
Yeah.
So I let it settle for a minute. I'll just put it there like that. And then I'll just take the dropper,
Oh
suck
wow.
it up so it's all in there.
Yeah, they all kind of stick together still, eh?
Yeah, they kind of clump. We're going to put it in this one with all the little baby angels.
That's a lot of baby angels. Oh, they go snaky for it. Yeah, it looks like they definitely enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, and like that's, like there's a huge amount of worms there. Look at that.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah, because I'd think about using that there for my parasips. I bet you my parasips would absolutely love those.
Yeah, like the you want to see them disappear fast.
Oh yeah, the guppies go crazy for them too. Grindle worms.
Pretty much gone.
And that's like free food.
Yeah. Absolutely free.
That's free food. Just now. So everything obvious, everybody would have grindle worms if they were that easy, I would think. How often do the cultures crash?
I haven't had them long enough to know. But they're saying, from what I've read so far, you have to swap out the cultures every couple of months.
Okay, so you mean like swap out the media?
Yeah.
Okay. But you can continue that culture going.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, like this one I've had, I don't know, this was just the little sample that Brittany gave me, and they've been going crazy in there. You just got to keep them moist. I keep stirring it up every once in a while.
Yeah. Perfect. And you get that meshing just at the dollar store.
I got this at Walmart for like $2 for like a 15-inch sheet.
And that stuff, I'm telling you, makes the best breeder, like in tank breeder boxes and separators. that money can buy.
That's what I got these 2 big sheets I got for, is to make some boxes.
We'll have to do a live stream breeder box making program, because I gotta make some more.
Yeah, I gotta get some zip ties though.
What do you need the zip ties for?
To zip tie them together.
Oh, you don't need to zip tie them. You don't need to zip tie them. You can plastic weld them together with their own plastic. It's real easy, real fast too. Faster than you could zip tie them.
Really?
Yep. I use a torch and a screwdriver.
Okay.
Is how I do it. I cut my sheets to size, and I use a torch and a screwdriver.
Yeah.
And I heat the screwdriver up with the torch, and I just run the torch up the side. I cut it so that the one side has a bit sticking out, and I run the screwdriver up the side, and it plastic welds it all together. That's how I made that one in my clownfish tank.
Okay, that's cool.
So maybe we'll do a DIY live stream.
Yeah.
And then I use I just cut 2 holes big enough, and I use the I guess it's lead. It's got lead in it anyway. It's mostly tin though, probably. The plant weights, the ribbon plant weights.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I double it up and use that as a hook to hook it to the side of the tank.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Chevy Fish says, I like the active culture yogurt. I put it on whole wheat bread and sprinkle yeast on it. Yeast inhibits spoilage. Then I feed it to my grindle and white worms. It really makes them multiply tons.
Yeah, so far I found the bread is working really well, just by itself.
And it says you have to keep the culture very cool in the 50s. But yours won't be in the 50s. Yours would be probably in the
room. Mine are just at room temperature, and they're doing just fine. Like this, I set these up like a week ago with just a few drops from the main container.
Yeah, and you get stuck to it. Oh yeah,
like
lots.
They're getting to the point where they're almost harvestable.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Just within a week. So with 3 containers going, I'll have enough food to feed everybody 2 or 3 times a day probably.
Wow. What's that mesh called, Chevy Fish? I keep forgetting. It's
this?
The mesh. It's what? It's some sewing like.
Yeah, it's plastic canvas.
Just plastic canvas.
There you go.
Yeah. I think people use it for some type of knitting.
It's for needle point, yeah.
Yeah, you could use a soldering iron too. Oh, hey, this is Innisfil Creek Honey. He just got some not duckweed, probably got a bit of duckweed, but he just got a bunch of guppy grass off me today. Now the torch I'm using for it, I should specify, I'm not using a full-size propane torch. It's a little butane torch is all I'm using it, and it sets up pretty easy. I didn't want to get that shit all over my soldering iron. That's why I didn't. I do have a couple soldering irons. I didn't want to get that stuff all over it. So that's why I use this method.
I heard hot glue works too, I think, but
you don't need it. You don't need any extra stuff to put in. It's just literally use that the plastic that you're using to weld to itself. I should move my camera over there to show you exactly what I mean, but I've kept a bunch of baby clownfish in one for quite some time now. Yeah, over a month. None got out. It hasn't deteriorated. No holes in it. Nothing. I'll see if I can move that camera over to get a look at it.
I gotta plug mine back in.
Well, I'll just walk over. You might not be able to hear me all that well because I won't be able to use my microphone. Oh, right now you can, but I'm taking this headset off in a sec.
Oh, okay.
I guess I'll do that. Okay. So you still might be able to hear me through the computer. So needle point mesh. There it is right there. Or cross stitch mesh, needle point mesh. Exactly what I'm talking about. But here it is. And that's all it is on the seams. I don't know if you can see them there. I just plastic welded all to itself. I use, like I said, the plant weights cut through, and it works great. You can make them whatever size you want.
Pretty cool.
These guys are pretty happy in there. They don't require a lot of space in there.
No.
No. This is my, just setting this here for a sec. But this is my, that's just my little shrimp. My little cherry shrimp tank, but it's pretty easy to look after, and I love the looks of it. It's absolutely great.
Yeah. I like the moss.
And believe it or not, that's Christmas moss, and that's how it grew. I think just from the low light in the tank, that's how the Christmas moss has grown. But this is just a little 5-gallon. Just a little 5-gallon tank, no heater, no nothing. I remember to turn the light on sometimes. There's a little cherry. Sometimes. It doesn't get turned on every day. But it's just got some cherry shrimp in it. But it looks after itself. This thing hardly ever gets water changes, anything.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, we've gone through quite a bit of stuff here today, Steve. I think, yes, we should, yeah, Chevy fish, I will do a video on it, most definitely. I'll show you guys how to make them. I need to make a couple more myself anyways, so I will do that up. It's really, really easy, as simple as needing a pair of scissors, something hot, and that's it. You don't even need a measuring tape because you can measure it with the mesh. But we will do it. Looks like they ate all those grindle worms.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they don't take long.
Yeah, I don't think any hit the bottom. That's for sure. Yeah, those are looking good. So if people want to buy angels or guppies off you, how do they get a hold of you?
Oh, just Facebook or
Facebook. You're gonna have to set up a Facebook page for all the fish you're getting.
Sometime or other, yeah. Getting quite a variety of different things going on now.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess if you're looking for Steve's fish, you just look on Facebook. Look for Steve Langley. His name is in the description of this video. And yeah, or just look on a previous video. We've been in a few now.
Yeah.
And pretty easy guy to deal with. And actually, Innisfil Creek Honey that was on here, I was telling him about you, Steve, and about your guppies. So can you go back to your black metallics for him? And the black metallics that you've gotten the blue into, he's
okay.
He's into guppies.
Yeah. So this is the black metallics, just the pure ones so far.
Yeah, they're looking good. Those are really young fish too, other than the adult male there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, I told him you're easy to deal with, and if he was looking for some, you could probably help him out.
So these
Yeah,
ones are
these blue ones are neat.
these are the cross. So I put in a black metallic male with these blue females. And this is what I'm getting out of them so far.
Not quite pure strain yet, but it looks like there's just a few that are kind of different colors, eh?
Not sure where the orange is coming from because neither of the parents have orange, but
somewhere in there, you'll have to breed that out of them a bit more. But yeah, what I like about them is those females have beautiful tails, and they're very, very colorful where most females aren't. That guy looks pretty interesting right there.
I'm really enjoying the blue ones.
Yeah, that fella looks very interesting. He's almost like half black on the front and then goes into the metallic on the back half, back 3/4 of him.
Yeah, so that one is probably going to be next generation breeder, that one right there.
Yeah, we'll see how far his dorsal fin comes out, but it looks like it's going to stretch. Pops up there pretty good.
Yeah, so I got a couple of them that are turning out blue. I got a couple that are turning out orange, and then there's a couple that are actually black. So,
huh.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
So then these are all the females.
Oh my lord.
And then these are all unsorted so far. These are more babies from the blue-black cross.
Yeah, you're definitely needing some more tanks, Steve.
And then these are all blue-black cross babies that popped out this week. So
yeah.
This is why I want to set up the drain and fill, because it's gonna start needing more regular water changes.
Yeah, because you're gonna start. That tank's gonna be absolutely full soon.
Well, yeah.
Look at the size of the tails.
Yeah.
Those females.
They're almost bigger than the males.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they should turn out very, very interesting.
Yeah, so we'll see how they come along the next month or two. I'll be getting rid of a bunch of them at some point.
Well, there you go.
Lifestyle.
Steve's taking on my guppy passion. My guppy passion's gone. The only guppies I have are up in my turtle tank now.
Oh, and then I got my little experiment over here.
Yeah, that's going to turn out different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of Steve Langleys on Facebook. I think your Facebook page is you in scuba gear, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it is.
So look for Scuba Steve, and you'll find him.
Or you can go to the Brass Facebook page, and I'll be a member on there.
Ah, yes. Yes. Brass.
Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning. How are you?
I stayed up too late gaming.
Did you? You're just getting up?
Yeah, I know it's brutal.
Oh boy, I'd say you're gonna show off your shrimp a little bit, Jen.
I don't know, Steve might.
Or your bird.
Yeah.
That's the mourning dove we rescued.
Who did?
So, is it ever gonna fly away, or is it just
Yeah.
It's a pet now.
His wings are clipped at the moment, so he can't fly. But
okay.
Yeah, so we got a couple of shrimp going on, but not too many.
Not too many. Oh, you got some cherries.
Yeah, some cherries with some little babies in there, little shrimplets, and lots of sea shrimp. You'll see.
Ah, yes.
Gonna have to throw a few baby guppies in here for a little while and get them cleaned up, because there's thousands of them.
Oh wow, I'd say. Steve is located in Barrie, Ontario. That's a pretty wild rabbit snail.
Yeah,
Thank you.
he's pretty big.
You have a question for you, Steve, from Minnesville Creek Honey, and it's how do you go about sorting males and females? He's talking about your guppies.
Yeah.
Just with a dip net, one at a time?
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I don't do it very often.
Yeah, it's a process, eh? It takes a while, and then you always have to go back a second or third time to get the ones that were hiding, even if you don't have hiding spots. They seem
Yeah.
to be able to hide.
Yeah, that's why I have my little experiment to separate the babies from the that I showed the last time. My little experiment that I'm gonna build, little airlift tube.
Right.
This guy here, my kind of weird looking thing right now, but I'm gonna fill it all up with these fake plants and then a lift tube that will go up and through a mat and filter, basically.
Aha.
So the babies will go close to it and then get sucked up through the pipe and shot off into the other side, where there will be nothing to obstruct a net.
Perfect. Perfect. You could even probably like run that into like a temporary breeder box or something to and then you could even have them more confined to try to catch them.
Yeah, that might be an interesting thing to try. Just pump it right up over into a hang-on breeder box.
Yeah, or into something with the mesh screening, that mesh screening, and then that way the littlest ones could get out.
True.
Into the tank, and the bigger ones that might be sexable at that time, you might be able to keep them there to figure them out.
That's true.
Yeah, because the little babies would be able to just go right through it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, you have to play with that. See what you come up with.
Yeah, so like I said, I got lots of projects started, but none of them finished yet. So I gotta spend some time to get things going here.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I have to get my sump finished now because I want a better way of having ammonia-free clownfish babies. That is one ugly dove.
Oh, he flew up into the ceiling.
He's just a baby. He's molting right now, so he's getting rid of a lot of feathers.
Oh, okay, that's why he's ugly. I was looking at it, I was like, he's got a bad haircut, everything.
He flew up into the ceiling and like
mohawk.
damaged his head, and that's why we clipped his wings, because he lost his depth perception one time and went in the ceiling and banged his head like 3 or 4 times before I managed to convince him to land on my hand.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it was not good.
From the looks of it, I'm guessing that bird's a pet now, forever.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, I'm guessing.
Well, it'll probably live in the backyard.
We'll see how the winter goes. I mean, it was so late in the season that
I couldn't release it; it would die.
If you let it go now, it would just starve.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. Yeah, they don't go south, do they? They stay. They stay here.
The males stay, and the females go south.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the males stay to get an early jump on the breeding territories, and they actually will generally mate for life, unless their mate dies.
Or can't find them when they come back.
No, they have an exact breeding spot that they return to.
Yeah, that was the same spot.
Huh. That's crazy. We learned something today.
I've learned a lot about doves.
So essentially what you're saying is the males want to get laid so bad that they're willing to freeze to death over the winter for the chance that she's going to come back from Florida and find them.
Pretty much.
Wow.
Sounds about right.
That's pretty desperate.
That sounds about right, actually.
Yeah. So wow, some animals go through quite a bit to keep a family together.
And the males will share in the warming of the eggs and the feeding of the babies. As well after the babies are born, and they have up to 8 clutches of 2 eggs every season.
Wow.
Every season.
This is why we're being overrun by doves.
Right. There's none around here. I haven't seen any. So what do you have your pH down to in that tank now, Steve?
You know what? It hasn't actually budged at all.
Hasn't budged.
Like the berry water is so hard that the peat moss is not even taking any effect yet.
Okay. So I've been doing water changes in mine with RO water, and sometimes I actually use my shrimp water change water and put it into my 72-gallon tank. Because my shrimp tanks usually don't even need a water change when I do it, but their water's still fine. But I got it down to like 7.
Let me.
I'm down to 7.
Let me do a quick test and see, because I have
I'm down to like a TDS of like 140, and I got it down to 7 for a pH.
Well, out of the tap it's like 8.2.
Yeah, same as mine. Yeah, 8.4 actually. Mine's generally closer to 8.4.
So let's see here. I gotta do 5 drops. Take the lid off. Oh no.
Did you spill it?
So much for the one-handed business. Try that again. Right.
So the peat moss can't even touch your water.
Yeah, hasn't even touched it yet. Look at that.
Yeah, you're still 8.2.
Yeah, and that's after a week of peat moss filtering.
Wow. Raheem, your TDS of your RO water should be very close to 0. As your filters get a little bit worn, or if you're not, depending on how many stages of filtration you have too, it might be up to like 20 or 25, but it should be very close to 0.
Yep.
Mine eats through the DI stuff like crazy. I gotta get a new RO filter. If my DI gets burnt out, mine jumps back up to close to 50.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's done. Well, yeah, you're gonna have to start ROing if you want to touch that. I'd say. Like I said, I've been doing it for like 3 months, and I'm down to 7.
Right.
Yeah, it takes a long time.
I have to get these angels out first before I start that procedure.
They can't handle soft water?
Oh, they can. They love soft water, but I don't want to transition them only to have to transition them back.
Right. Yeah, well, that looks like a nice home for them right next door.
Yeah, I think I might throw them in there. I'd like to try and get a few more eggs from them, though, because the babies are coming out a mixture of different colors.
Yeah, that looks like a nice place for them.
Yeah, it's almost time to do some algae scrubbing in this one. It's been a month.
Oh, it still looks pretty good. All right, buddy. I think we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to get ready for supper.
All right.
And yeah, get some more work done down here before the day is over. But good talking to you.
Yeah, you too.
And thank you everybody for showing up in the chat. Thank you moderators, especially for posting stuff for us, and everybody who's taking part or just creeping around. Yeah, I'm gonna keep working on my clownfish rack. Hopefully I can have that going for our next video, at least have the filter in place and whatnot. And I'll talk to you later, Mr. Langley, and figure out how to get those tanks off you so I can hook a couple of them up to go with it.
Yeah, definitely.
So everybody, thanks for joining us. Steve, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you.
Jen, thanks for crashing our video with your ugly dove. All right, talk to you later.
All right.
Ciao.
Have a good day. Bye-bye, everyone.